Okay, so in this video, I'm going to show you how to work with binary data like image and PDF files coming from Google Drive in n8n. So we're going to build this entire automation from scratch. We have a manual trigger to quickly execute this. We're going to get a file from Google Drive. I'm going to show you why we've added an HTTP request here. Then we're going to set a field with our binary data, our image or PDF file. And then we're finally going to use that to send an email with the attachment. And so we get this email with an attachment in it. Shout out to my F Ballers football group back home in Goa, who so kindly made this for me. But that's how we're going to take image or PDF files, add them as an attachment, and send them across via Gmail. And you're going to see how we're going to do all of that from scratch in n8n. Okay, so first up, we're going to remove this trigger and just start building this out from scratch. So if I first come in here after our manual trigger, go to Google Drive, click download a file. We're going to choose our connection. We're going to choose operation as download, and file, we're going to choose a YouTube thumbnail that I have in there. I think I named it YouTube image. Yeah. So we have our image file, and right now, if I come out of here, just hit save and execute this workflow, you can see it's running. And we come in here and we can see the output. We have this YouTube image.png, and we have the entire file in our output. So next up, if we wanted to send this file as an attachment in an email, if I come to my Gmail and I click send a message, and I'm going to send it to my email address. With new doc received from Google Drive. We're going to say send a message saying, here's your attachment. And now if I come in here and I click attachments in the options, click add attachment. And basically this field name that we give it just needs to match this field name. So because we have a data in here, I'm going to leave this as data, come out of here, hit save in our automation, and then click execute workflow. You can see that it's running and we have a success. So if I come back into our inbox, hit refresh, yep, you can see we've got our file in. And this was the YouTube image. If I just quickly hop over in here, you can see this is the image that we had, and it's the same one we've received in here. Now, what usually tends to happen is, say you had a bunch of other nodes in between, right? So say we had an HTTP request, or this could be any other node. We're just going to try and access Google website, google.com. And yep, so now you will see that our Gmail node will fail. So if we run in here, we're going to fetch the file. And now you can see that it has a problem in node, say send a message. And that is because, like right now, it doesn't have access to the data file right before it. And this is one slight problem when working with data in n8n, when working with binary data or like image or PDF files in n8n, that when you want to use the attachment or binary data, you should be setting it or getting it in a node just before it. So in this case, because the node we were getting it from was this Google Drive node, but it's not immediately before where we want to send it in our Gmail node, right? We have this HTTP request in between, and ideally we may have a bunch of other nodes in between. So how do we get around that? Is we use an edit fields node, or we set a variable. So if I come in here, I click add field. In the past, there was no option to add binary data. But now in a recent update of n8n, they've added this binary data type. And so what that allows you to do is we can give this a name and say this is image from Drive, for example. And what we want to do in here is first add an expression using our curly brackets. And now if we see, we have access to all our earlier nodes. So in our download file 1, right, which was our Google Drive node. So our download file 1, if we do a dot item, dot binary, now you can see that we have access to this binary data, right? Which has this entire object in it. So if we execute this step, we see that we're getting an error because, yeah, sorry, it is item.binary.data because it was in the original data field. So if we hit execute step, now you can see that we have this image file. We've just renamed the header to image from drive because that's what we are setting here. If we wanted it to be data, we can just rename that to data and we'd have data. If we wanted it as image, so like this, we can rename the field as whatever we'd like. But now using this edit fields node, we can basically grab or reference an image, PDF, or any kind of binary data that was otherwise being fetched in an earlier node. And so now if we come into our Gmail and in our attachment, we don't have data as our field anymore. We've renamed it to image. So we will come in here and just double check, yeah, that it's image. So now if I make this image, hit execute step, you can see that we've got a new doc received with our image file. And so this works the same for PDFs. If we wanted to, just for simplicity, you can always just change this back to data and leave this as data as well. And in our Google Drive, now we had this other PDF file. So if I just go in and type YouTube PDF, yep, and now save this, hit execute workflow. If we did, this was our PDF file. So now if I come back to our automation, we can see that it's run successfully. If I go to my inbox, you see new doc received, we see the PDF, and if I open it, we see the file. So that's pretty much it. That's how you basically reference and use binary data in your n8n automations.